not gonna lose no more.
Everyone, welcome to Great Ninja. We will show you lots of amazing facts and theories about Naruto and also Boruto. But before enjoying the video, please subscribe into this channel, share this content and also turning on the notification bells. In anime Boruto episode 294, the story will show an emotional moment after Boruto came back to life. Considered a miracle, Boruto told what had actually happened to him. Based on the information Boruto provided, Momoshiki revived him through his karma. As is known, he already has 82% of Momoshiki's data. But in order to save Boruto and repair his destroyed body parts, Momoshiki sacrificed the remaining 18% of his data, making Boruto now 100% otsutsuki. Meanwhile, Kawaki seems to be unconscious due to using a lot of chakra after he awakens his karma again. To find out what caused it, Shikamaru sought out Amato, the only person he suspected of having done something to Kawaki. But when he met Amato in his lab, the two of them got into an argument. Not long after, Code suddenly appeared and immediately attacked Shikamaru until his body bounced against the wall there. Then when the two of them were pressed, Shikamaru finally used their secret weapon, Delta, which had been reprogrammed to protect Konoha from threats. On the orders he got, Delta also attacked Code brutally and succeeded in making him helpless. Not wanting to give up so easily, Code then put his hand into the claw mark and pulled someone. From the claw marks came out a girl who was none other than Ada, which made Amato very surprised because he did not expect his cyborg to be alive. Seeing Amato's overreaction, Shikamaru realized something was wrong with the two of them. Coming as a threat to Konoha, Delta unceremoniously attacked her. But strangely, when her attack almost succeeded in hitting Ada, suddenly her movement stopped, her strength seemed to refuse and was unable to attack. Seeing Delta being controlled, Shikamaru immediately contacted Ino to signal an emergency situation. Afterwards, Shikamaru still seemed confused by Ada's arrival and power. While using Kagemani no Jutsu on her, he suddenly felt strange, where he suddenly felt dizzy and feverish. It was the same as what he saw in Delta, who seemed to have lost her fighting spirit. He concluded that the three of them had been trapped with some sort of jutsu. Remembering Amato's reaction when he saw the girl, Shikamaru thought that Amato must know something about her. He then asked Ino for help to communicate with Amato to ask who exactly the girl they were fighting was. When connected, Amato clearly mentions the name and unique powers of the remaining Kara members. Amato says that everyone in the room is now a prisoner of her power, where her unique power is not only being able to see into the future and past with ease, but she also has a unique power that can fascinate her opponents. This is evidenced when Delta is shown mesmerized by Ada, who is standing in front of her. Amato further mentions some of the symptoms that will be experienced by opponents of Ada's power, such as headaches, vertigo, fever, stiff muscles and many more. In addition, the symptoms felt by each person will be different. It would be useless to fight her because if she has been exposed to her power, then the effect will not be released until Ada dies. Even though he knew this fact, Shikamaru continued to try to attack her, but many times his instincts rejected that thought, making Shikamaru finally give up and the kunai in his hand was released. He thought it would be very dangerous for Naruto and Sasuke to be exposed to that power, especially since Code wanted them both dead. Meanwhile, Boruto, who has now returned to life, is seen talking to his teacher, Sasuke. Feeling responsible, Sasuke apologizes to Boruto for not being able to stop the anger from Momoshiki. The conversation became serious when Sasuke told him that there had been several people who knew about the incident. They blamed and hated Kawaki for killing the Hokage's son. Kawaki's existence had been opposed by many people from the start, so it was no wonder that after this incident they would hate him even more. Boruto doesn't seem to accept that and explains that they can't just blame Kawaki because he was the one who asked Kawaki to kill him. He believes Kawaki did it because they are brothers, he understands and accepts his determination. Boruto's words then stirred Sasuke's heart, reminding him of the meaning of brother. Then in the middle of their conversation, Boruto pulled out one of Sasuke's important relics that Naruto still kept, but is now owned by him. The item is Sasuke's headband, which was once scratched due to his fight against Naruto in the Valley of the End. When he wanted to return it, Sasuke refused and told Boruto to keep it as a gift from him. Boruto seemed very happy because according to him the headband helped him firm up his resolves. Receiving a very valuable gift, Boruto promised to keep the headband for the rest of his life. From a distance, Sarada and Mitsuki were watching the two of them. Both looked worried and grateful that Boruto had survived what happened to him. But in the midst of that, Sarada felt angry with herself for being useless when her teammate needed help. She really wanted to be able to help Boruto more than what she was currently doing. Hearing Sarada's words, Mitsuki innocently teased her by asking if Sarada really liked Boruto. With a little nervous, Sarada evaded this and began to change the topic. Mitsuki then continued, they both had to get stronger in order to face Otsutsuki. This was responded to by Sarada, who said it was obvious because if not, then she would not be worthy of becoming Hokage. On the other hand, Kawaki, who was being treated, finally woke up and was immediately greeted by Naruto, who had been waiting for him to wake up accompanied by Sumire. His greeting was not well received by Kawaki. He looked at Naruto with a cold stare as if he did not want to accept Naruto's warm greeting. This situation made Naruto recall the beginning of their meeting. He then took the initiative to invite him to talk. In their conversation, Naruto informed him that Boruto was alive and in good condition thanks to the power of his karma. Hearing that, Kawaki was surprised but couldn't say anything else. Naruto was sure that it must have been difficult for Kawaki too because he had taken on a very painful role. In addition, he also felt grateful because if Kawaki had not been there at that time, they might have all died at the hands of Code. He emphasized to Kawaki not to worry about anything because he already considered him as family and part of Konoha. Naruto and Kawaki's conversation had to stop after a signal from Ino came to him and Sasuke. Ino tried to report on how Shikamaru and Amato were currently experiencing so that both Naruto and Sasuke then rushed to catch up to the lab. While Shikamaru was still wondering what steps he should take, Code suddenly attacked Amato and threatened him by thrusting his claws into his shoulder. Shikamaru then asked what motive made Ada come to Konoha and why she helped Code. Shikamaru looked very surprised when Ada said that she liked Kawaki. In order to get Kawaki, she finally asked Code for help. In return, she helped him to regain his strength. After learning this, Shikamaru communicated with Ino again and asked her to change the lab lock code because he didn't want Naruto and Sasuke to get in there and meet Ada. Ino becomes worried, but Shikamaru tries to convince her that he has a plan to save everyone. Knowing that Ada's power was very dangerous and could not be stopped easily, Shikamaru, who was known as Konoha's genius, made an attractive offer to Ada. He invited Ada to defect to Konoha. He thinks it's a great opportunity for Ada to get closer to Kawaki. He believed that they could help each other and after that Ada could tell Kawaki about her feelings. Ada then looked sharply at Shikamaru and seemed to be thinking about it. Code, who heard their conversation, tried to warn Ada not to leave him. But Ada seemed unhappy with Code's behavior interrupting their conversation, so she snapped at him to be quiet. Ada said that she was the only one who had the right to decide. At the same time, Shikamaru noticed something different about Ada's left eye. Seeing that, Shikamaru became worried and wondered what Ada would do with her eye. While Shikamaru was still stuck in his complicated thoughts, Naruto appeared and ran to Amato's lab. He immediately entered the code to open the door, but failed because the door code had been changed on Shikamaru's orders. Unable to enter, he began to scold and blame himself. Then suddenly Shikamaru made contact with Naruto, who was outside the lab, saying he was doing all this to protect him from a very dangerous enemy jutsu. He then told Naruto to wait outside and didn't want him to interfere. Shikamaru tried to convince Naruto that this was a difficult situation and he should not be disturbed there. Shortly after that, Boruto and Sasuke then suddenly appeared, right behind Naruto. After communicating with Naruto, Shikamaru was surprised by Ada, who knew that Naruto and the others were currently outside. She also knew that Shikamaru had told his partner to lock the door to protect them from her power. Shikamaru showed a look of confusion and disbelief as to how Ada could know all his plans. But with his intelligence, it didn't take long for Shikamaru to realize that Ada was able to figure it all out because of her left eye. Then Amato immediately told him that the eye was called Senragan. With the power of her left eye, Ada can see everything that happens anywhere. Moreover, the power of her eye is not limited to the present, but also the past. This means that Shikamaru can't hide anything from her. Even so, Shikamaru believed that at least what they talked about through Ino's jutsu could not be heard by Ada because she certainly could not see deep into their hearts. Seeing the look on Shikamaru's face as if he was thinking about something, made Ada guess what he might be thinking about her. Ada told him that she didn't have a good reason to be Konoha's enemy in the first place. Even so, according to Shikamaru, she would continue to be considered an enemy of Konoha if she was always on the Code side. Shikamaru continued to provoke Ada to think about which one she should choose, being on the side of Konoha or Code. Hearing that, Code immediately gave a sharp look at Shikamaru. Meanwhile, Kawaki, who had woken up next to Sumire, still hadn't said anything since Naruto's departure. Sumire ventured to talk to him by saying that she was very happy that Boruto was okay. Although she didn't know what happened between Kawaki and Boruto, but she was sure Kawaki had been forced to make a very difficult decision. Hearing Sumire's words, Kawaki then looked at the karma on his palm and started talking about it. Kawaki said that Amato had restored karma without his knowing. The two of them had been talking about karma, and when Amato repaired his right hand, that was probably when he placed the karma on him. That's why it had taken so long. But even so, Kawaki recognized that the return of this karma was something that might also be the result of his own desire to restore it. Kawaki began to be grateful that he had karma again, because if he didn't, Hokage Naruto would probably be dead by now. From the bottom of his heart, Kawaki admitted that he now realized that he really needed karma. Sumire then pondered and conveyed her thoughts to Kawaki about what she believed to be Amato's true intentions in this matter. Sumire cautiously says that the reason why Amato is so obsessed with his karma is for his own personal purposes, which he has yet to figure out. Meanwhile, in the lab, Amato cried out in pain as Code dug his claws into his left shoulder while telling Amato to stop wasting time. Code blamed Amato for the strange turn the situation had taken. He kept demanding Amato to tell him the command code he used to remove the limiter. Amato, in desperation, called Shikamaru with Ino's jutsu and asked him to help. Amato cried out in pain and felt he couldn't hold on any longer. Shikamaru asked him to wait a little longer and said that Code would definitely not kill him, where if Amato died now, Code would never be able to remove the limiter. Therefore, he would be the one in trouble. Besides, if he restored his powers, then he wouldn't need Amato anymore and would kill him outright. While Shikamaru was still thinking hard, suddenly Ada's Senragan eyes reactivated. With a surprised look on her face, Ada said that they had to retreat immediately. But Code could only look at Ada's face in confusion. Ada then said that Kawaki would be there. Everyone in the room was surprised to hear that, because the door to the room was locked and it was difficult for Kawaki to break through. But from Shikamaru and Amato's conversation, they concluded that with Kawaki possessing Sukuna Hikona, he was probably planning to shrink himself and enter through the ventilation. Meanwhile, Code, who knew that Kawaki was coming, looked scared and upset that his plan had to be delayed again. Amato and Shikamaru continued to communicate using Ino's jutsu. They realized Kawaki could neutralize Code's claw marks so he could cut off Code's escape route. Not only that, Amato said that there are two types of people who cannot be affected by Ada's jutsu. The first is blood relatives and the second is otsutsuki. Which explains Kawaki and Boruto will not be affected by Ada's power. Shikamaru is shocked by what he hears, and is upset why Amato is only telling him now. Amato clearly said that he did it because he couldn't let Kawaki die and he didn't want Shikamaru to harm him again. At this point, Amato seems to have prepared for the worst. Shikamaru and Amato continued their conversation through Ino's jutsu. Code's claw was still impaled on Amato's left shoulder. Shikamaru and Amato began to argue about what Amato could say and what not to say in front of the enemy. While the situation was heating up, Ino tried to stop the argument and said that this was not the time to argue. While Amato was talking to Shikamaru, Code opened a portal in his claw mark and pushed Amato through and took him to his hideout with Ada. Shikamaru was shocked but couldn't do anything about it. Meanwhile, Ada continues to remind Code that Kawaki is almost there. In an attempt to stop Code and Ada from kidnapping Amato, Shikamaru used his shadow binding jutsu. Shikamaru tried his best to buy time by telling Ada to wait for Kawaki's arrival. But Ada didn't care about Shikamaru's words anymore. She then called the helpless Delta, looking at her with a mesmerized gaze. At that time, Delta seemed to have fallen in love with Ada. Feeling difficult with Shikamaru's attitude, Ada then asked Delta to help her. Shikamaru was shocked, because with just her words, Delta turned on him. Delta then looked at Shikamaru with an intense face and started kicking him. Luckily Shikamaru can avoid Delta's attacks easily. As soon as Shikamaru dodged Delta's attack, his shadow binding jutsu was retracted. This allowed Code and Ada to finally pass through the portal created with Code's claw mark. Shikamaru tried to get Delta to regain control of herself. He tries to tell Delta not to give in to Ada's charm and focus on listening to Shikamaru's words. As Ada was about to leave through the portal, Ada apologized and said that her meeting with Shikamaru was very pleasant, but she had to say goodbye for now and thanked him for his interesting offer. Not only that, she also hoped that the two of them could meet again. Before she completely disappeared, she also thanked Delta for helping her. Code was the last to pass through the portal. Before he left, he had a few words for Shikamaru. Code implied that Shikamaru should be ready for retribution after his name was now on his revenge list. Shikamaru returned his words by telling Code to leave quickly and never show his face there again. Just as Code's eyes were about to pass through the portal, Kawaki entered through the air duct. Unfortunately, Kawaki's arrival did not succeed in preventing Code from taking Amato. Kawaki was very surprised to see Code's claw marks there, which indicated that Code had previously been there. Shikamaru then asked Kawaki to use Ishiki's dujutsu, Sukuna Hikona, to remove or destroy the claw marks that Code left behind. This is to ensure that he will not infiltrate Konoha village again. But Kawaki informed Shikamaru that he was here to talk to Amato and he asked for his current whereabouts. With a sharp look, Shikamaru said that Amato was probably dead by this time and his words made Kawaki very shocked. Meanwhile at Code and Ada's hideout, Amato was seen falling down and in front of him were Damon, Code and Ada. His arrival was then greeted by Damon with a naughty smile. Before Amato could say anything, Code began to pull Amato up and corner him against the wall. He grabbed him by the collar and told Amato to surrender because there was nowhere for Amato to run now. Just then Amato asked about what would happen after he released the limiter. Amato didn't believe that Code would save his life. He thought there was no point in doing that if he knew he would be killed. Code responded by saying that Amato would be able to be free from pain and die in peace. Code told Amato that he was fed up with him and if Amato tested his patience, then Amato would be in an even more dangerous situation. Amato, who saw that Code was unwilling to negotiate, finally gave in and stated that his limiter would be lifted soon. Code said that he was not interested in any nonsense and advised Amato to remove the limiter immediately. Code approached Amato, saying that Amato was a talkative old man. There was an instant silence in the room. Damon and Ada hadn't said a word since Amato and Code had spoken. They were just watching Code and Amato talking. Code and Amato made eye contact for the last time. Amato had no other choice but to finally release Code's limiter by saying a word. As Amato spoke those words, white smoke surrounded Code. He appeared to be in the center of the smoke. The smoke blew away everything. Even Damon's hair at that time was blown away by the wind generated by the smoke. Then the smoke slowly cleared and Code stood in front of Amato with his new look. It could be seen that his hair now had a more pointed shape and the main difference was that his eyes were now much more detailed. Not only in the eyes, but also around them, the eyelashes were longer and sharper. Everyone around the room was stunned by Code's new transformation. He then looked at the white karma in his palm and clenched his fist in a sign of determination that he would continue Ishiki will. Not only did his face and hair change, Code's fingernails also seemed to have changed. He now had black nails on each of his fingers. With his new look and limiter removed, Code felt a great power radiating through his body and said that he would not lose against anyone with his current strength. Code, whose limiter has been removed, then grabs Amato against the wall and apologizes for the injury he gave, and he promises to free Amato from the pain in an instant. That's the end of Great Ninja Channel video today. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe into this channel. Leave some comments, like and share this video so we can have more people to see this. Thank you, and Great Ninja Channel is signing out for today.